Welcome everybody. Um, we've got Achala ji back, and we're going to start a new series with Achala ji. And the series, what I want to do is I want to talk to her about doing. We'll be doing a series of videos on Nakshatras, mantras, and chakras, and the correct pronunciation of those Nakshatra Beeja Mantras, which are connected to that, so that we can go into this process of inner engineering. So I was discussing with Achalaji, and this is what we've been doing for the past hour or so, is how we can kind of reach out to the field of consciousness, because the nakshatras are field of consciousness. And we have been born with certain grahas or planets in certain nakshatras. They're in certain nakshatra padas. They're also in certain degrees. So this is your design. This is the makeup. This is your blueprint. And how are you going to activate this design or blueprint? What is how can you form a synaptical connection with these nakshatras and grahas, so that you really understand what is the purpose of your life. Secondly, how can you awaken the real meaning of your soul, and how you can be self directing yourself in the direction of transformation. So this is something that we have been working on and trying to think how we can develop this, so that there will be a self-discovery, how you can harness your free will, how you can galvanize your destiny, and how you could be living in an ecosystem where you can connect very easily with your higher self. So this is the process. This is an engineering process of trying to go through working on the power centers of your body through sonic vibrations. These are sacred vibrations that you are connecting through, and then you're connecting this with transforming certain energies, or what we call, broadly we can say these are your karmic centers that you're working on. So Achalaji, welcome. And we've had this discussion with you, but I want to know, tell us something that how this whole process of mantras, chakras, and sadhanas evolve. Is there any example that you can give us, which the audiences will be able to understand? What are we trying to achieve through this the series of videos we're going to do?
Namaste, goodbye, Ji.
Namaste.
Yeah, I would like to share one story from my own life. This was, I think, before 3 years ago, if I remember correctly. And in that time, I was not aware that in Jyotish also exists something that we call Punya Saham, and that is a little bit better known in Western astrology as Pars Fortuna. So I had no idea about it back then. And interesting thing happened. I had a very difficult period in life. I had several health problems, and due to that fact, I couldn't work so much also, which was also affecting my finances, my personal situation. And in that time, something interesting happened. I started completely intuitively, completely out of nothing, you could say, to pray to Yamuna Devi. And I was always very strongly connected to Lord Krishna, and obviously everything that is connected to Krishna is just beautiful and for me. But still, I never had like any actual connection with Yamuna, with Kalindi Devi, right? So it was quite interesting for me. And there was several other things that came with that. I started to be very much in love with the blue color, because she's also a blue color, and I wanted to have everything blue around me, and I had completely no idea why it comes. I also came across several prayers which I never found before, like Kalindi Sahasranama, 1000 Names of Yamunaji, or Kalindi Kavacham also, so the armor of Yamuna. And all of that seemed so beautiful for me, out of sudden, out of nothing. And I noticed that since I started to pray to Yamunaji completely intuitively, my life started to just slowly go up. Everything slowly started to fall into places. My health improved, my finances went up, my mind was much more calm, which was actually the most essential part here. And now when I look at the time, I actually realized it just a few months ago, really, that it's very, very amazing because my point of fortune, we could say, Punya Saham. We even say in astrology that Punya Saham is, let's say, the place in which the biggest amount of our punya, so the good karma from previous lifetimes, is accumulated. So we could say, in a way, that the deity that governs that nakshatra is kind of like a gatekeeper for the good karma of us. And what I saw really amazed me because it turned out that my Punya Saha, my point of fortune, is in Bharani Nakshatra. And Bharani, as we all know, is connected with Yamaraj. But who is the sister of Yamaraj, right? It's Yamuna Devi. She's his twin sister. And even there's so beautiful actually metaphor here because Yamaraj is the one who is, let's say, bringing the difficulties, right? Because he's the god of death. He's about this sacrifice. He holds a noose in his hand. And Yamunaji, she also holds kind of noose, but it's not a noose, it's a garland. It's a flower garland for Krishna. So it's like the same energy, but just differently expressed, really, expressed in more beneficial manner. So when I saw that, I was really just like, wow, you know, this just came to me intuitively 3 years ago. And I really understood that these nakshatras, they really hold our karma in a way. They are really like guardians of our karma, positive and negative one, all karma that was ever there. And what I even noticed that somehow it happens because many people come to me for consultations who are already spiritual. Very often they already met their sadguru as well. And I often ask them, when exactly have you met your sadguru? Do you remember a day perhaps? And it's amazing, but for so many of them, it happened that either there was a major transit during through their punya saham, the point of fortune, or either this point of fortune was in any other way activated very strongly. So their good fortune came to them, basically speaking, in the form of their teacher. And I believe that any nakshatra in which we have any planet or ascendant or any other significant or vulnerable point, we can activate like that or even heal through that by connecting into that, but by connecting into that karma. Because ultimately we came here on this planet because of our karma. We came on this planet to go through that, to accept our karma, to love our karma, and to ultimately refine it also. So it can manifest for us in a little bit more refined way. So this is what I would like to share also today, Dr. Paiji.
This is absolutely fascinating. You know, Achalaji, thank you very much, because this is also the same belief system that I also have. Is my interpretation, I've always said this, is nakshatra are this, cosmic field of your consciousness. Okay, and there is a Shakti associated with each of these nakshatras. You know, the Shakti is the inherent power which rests within each of these nakshatras. And these grahas or these planets are nothing but the farmers who actually plow the field of these fertile consciousness. Okay, and whatever the seeds of your karmas which are ripened for you to go through, to experience in this life, both good, bad, ugly, whatever, that comes up. The grahas are actually trying to plow it and bring it up so that the seeds are going to germinate and they're going to fructify, and those events are going to manifest in your life. Okay, so if we can really connect, like you mentioned, there is a very strong connection between these grahas, because these are channels which connect you with the Shakti of the nakshatras. And the archetypes of these nakshatras, what we call as devatas, nakshatra devatas, they are the harbingers of, positivity. Because nakshatra, all of them, immaterial, what you say, nakshatras are all about growing. They grow whatever falls. They never, they keep growing. It's only that the process of how we grow or how we evolve could be different.
Yes.
So unless we can forge a very strong bond with these nakshatras and start working on them, I think most of us will experience very highs and lows we're going through in our lives, and we don't even realize what are we doing. Because that is exactly the fundamental question that I want everybody to ask themselves, is why you have been given a specific graha or a planet in a specific position in the zodiac. Okay, it might be at a particular degree in a particular rashi, in a particular nakshatra, in a particular pada. So what is that meaning? Where is the unlocking, the activation centers lying in your body? Because as above, so below. If you can know how you can engineer this system within you, I think you're also trying to activate the energies above as well. What is manifesting up there is manifesting here within our body. We're experiencing the same thing. So
Yes.
I'm glad, Achala ji, we're doing this series of nakshatra mantras and the correct pronunciation of these mantras. And I hope that our viewers are going to benefit from using this beautiful system. So thank you very much for agreeing to do this, and we will start posting this, and people can start working on their own self. It's a self development or self discovery process that you'll be going through, and that's how we'll connect to these energy centers, and you start activating them and purifying them, cleansing them, and you go through this as you go through this journey of going through each of these nakshatras. So thank you very much, Ashalaji. So let's start with we'll start making these videos so that people can go and learn from the right. So thank you very much for coming along and doing the series of nakshatra videos with us. I'm I'm very grateful to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.